Is it recording? It's recording?
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hey guys, welcome to the Project Couch, which I guess is what this is, based on all of the previous videos where we build or do anything. You may notice that there are a lot of boxes sitting around, and that's because,
It's heavier than I thought it would be.
a pretty big development coming up for the channel. We've got a new computer in the works here. It may not look like it right now, but once we get stuff out of the boxes and better shown off, it may come off more computery.
Right now it just looks like a Christmas Amazon delivery.
This video is going to be a little bit more laid back. It's just kind of a how-to video for making the computer, basically, which only pertains to these parts, I guess. I mean, the general aspects of building a computer are going to be...
Most computers are, even if you're using different brands of parts and stuff, it's all the same stuff. It's all been standardized, so...
We're going to try and capture a little bit of Alan here, my good friend Alan, with his knowledge and willingness to help me build this PC.
Mostly the willingness to help.
Yeah. You've got some, I feel like we're going to find some tidbits in here that will be helpful to maybe someone out there.
And how to put together a PC and cut as many corners as possible, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. No grounding or anything like that.
No.
So, real bare bones
I'm
operation.
just going to keep touching the power supply over and over again to ground myself.
See, like, I don't even know if that's a problem. So yeah, kind of a different video from what this channel's used to. More about how-to and like just kind of a cinematic building of a computer, which will eventually help make the videos that you're used to seeing. That's kind of what this computer is for. Not so much for, I mean, a little bit for gaming. I'll be real.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about maybe future developments with gaming, the gaming side of things in the future.
Yeah.
But mostly for video editing coming up, because, I mean, if you could see the editing stuff that I'd have to do on my laptop, you'd understand. You'd understand why the videos come out as slow as they do. Much needed computer in the works here. We're gonna get it going. Sweet. Well, now we are fully unboxed. Definitely looking a lot more like a computer now than when it was just boxes. Alan is working on getting Windows set up on a USB drive using the old crappy laptop. Only thing it's good for at this point. Once this thing's built, it's going to be
the only thing it's good for is being the nugget that starts this computer for the first time.
It is the stepping stone that this computer will leap off of into greatness.
It is currently writing to a USB drive its own demise. So,
you want to run through the parts?
We got our case here. This is a NZXT H510 Flow. This is a really good budget case, kind of mid-range. And the great thing about this case compared to other cases in NZXT's lineup is that the front is a full mesh instead of being somewhat blocked off, so you're going to get way more airflow, which can be nice and can also help reduce noise, not having as much restriction. Got the big tempered glass side panel, but it's tinted, so it's going to have a professional look, but you'll still be able to kind of see in it some of the components and stuff, and he'll be able to tell when he needs to dust it, which he's going to do fairly regularly. Is clean it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's got filters for most of the major inlets that catch a lot of the dust, so you don't have to clean it as often as a lot of other cases. Yeah, and all in all, it's just a good mid-sized case that fits all components and has decent cable management. Next thing we might want to talk about is our motherboard. So I went with a little bit more higher end of a motherboard, but I didn't go all the way for I forget the name of the next level chipset. So we're just sticking with the B550 chipset. And the reason for that is that he's not going to have a lot of use for like 60 plus USB ports or like a bunch of PCIe lanes. So those won't be a limitation to him as far as the chipset is concerned. But one of the reasons I went with this motherboard, it supports faster RAM, so you can increase your RAM speeds more than normal. It has built-in Wi-Fi, which is going to be really useful for him, so he's not going to have to get a Wi-Fi adapter or anything. Other than that, it's just a really high-quality motherboard. I can't remember. Oh, it's got a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-C, so it'll be able to run the Type-C port on the front of the case. Just a lot of reasons to pick this board and spend a little bit more money on it. I guess next we'll probably go to the CPU. We're going with a Ryzen 7 5800X. So we're looking at a 4.7 gigahertz boost without overclocking, which is crazy to me, still being on an i7-8700K myself. We're looking at 8 cores, 16 threads, so tons of multi-threading capability, which is going to be a big help for video editing, photo editing, any kind of heavier work, even if he wants to get into After Effects or Blender, any 3D modeling, whatever. To cool that, we're going with a Noctua NH-U12S Redux. This is just a good all-around cooler, and it's from the Redux line, so you can save $1 by not caring about the fact that it's gray instead of black. And the other great thing is it comes with the thermal paste pre-installed and evenly applied, so you don't have to worry about that step or giving too much thermal paste or too little thermal paste. Just makes things easier, especially for someone who's doing it for the first time. For a graphics card, we're looking at a Zotac Gaming RTX 3060, 12 gigs of GDDR5 VRAM, I believe, which is, again, mind-boggling to me. Runs the core clock's really fast on this. It's a smaller card, there's not going to be a lot of room for overclocking, but it's still going to be killer for gaming and everything else. Next up, we got an EVGA 650p5, going for a little bit higher efficiency rating on this with the 80 plus platinum, which is going to help keep the PC a little cooler at any given load and make it a little more power efficient. Fully modular power supply, so if in the future he wants to make the inside look fancy, he can. He probably won't, but he could. And just, you know, when you're stepping up to a platinum efficiency rated power supply, most of them are going to start being fully modular, so not a huge deal. Just going to make the inside cleaner to have it be semi-modular and not have a bunch of cables stuffed in the bottom that are going to take up room and be annoying. For RAM, two 16 gigabyte sticks of DDR4 4000 memory. Memory is memory, not much else to talk about. For storage, we got a 970 EVO Plus, 1 terabyte M.2 SSD, just kind of the industry standard for SSD storage these days. I have these in everything from my laptop to his laptop to my computer to my mom's friends' laptops. They're great drives and I never hear complaints. Got a WD Black 4 terabyte hard drive for game storage and footage storage and any number of bulk storage needs. Got a 27-inch ViewSonic monitor, 1440p, I believe 144 hertz. So that'll be a good size display between 24 and 32 inches. I think 24 is a little too small. 32 inches doesn't really fit everywhere if you're moving around a lot and got different desks and stuff. So it's an IPS panel, so it's gonna have good colors, so he can do a little bit more color accurate work. It's no crazy industry standard monitor, but it's gonna have really good colors for doing the kinds of things he's doing. I think that's all the parts.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Now that we know what we're working with, we can get right into building stuff with it.
Alright, so first step's going to be to strip the case down so you can see what we're working with and get all the directions and stuff by the inside.
Sounds good to me.
So we're just going to set this aside for later.
Oh, I did it.
Yes. So now we can kind of see in there better.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
What's cool?
Well, they've just done they've changed how their cases are designed since I built my computer with their case a while ago. They got a lot of built-in cable management and 2.5-inch bays. Still no shock absorption on the hard drive mounts though, so our WD Black drive is probably going to be really loud. Yeah, so right now I'm just getting the lay of the land as far as the case I'm going to be building in.
That's some big land.
Yeah, this is unnecessarily large.
How do you,
Sweet, so that's how you remove this to blow the dust out of it.
Cool. Compressed air.
Yeah, cool. And then let's see what other bits we got. The standoffs are just to keep the motherboard held away from the case and grounded properly. Speaking of the motherboard, that's probably gonna be our next. We got the motherboard here, so what I like to do is just use the top of the box as a work surface. Usually a really good place to build on. A lot of people will take the motherboard out and place it on top of the anti-static bag, but the reason that doesn't work is because the whole way an anti-static bag works is by spreading the charge over the outside of the bag. So if you set it on the anti-static bag, you're just setting it on a surface that's really good at static electricity. Not touch it too much.
That thing looks nice.
It does look nice. We should get an up close shot of it. You want to do the honors on this thing?
Sure.
Peely.
You gotta savor the peelies.
I guess we should just start by dropping in the CPU next.
So motherboard step 2, GPU step 3? Or like 2.5?
I mean, there's really no reason not to just throw the CPU in the second you have the motherboard out, because once it's locked in, it kind of becomes part of the board.
Gotcha.
Same with probably the M.2 SSD we could throw in as well. Need a knife.
Knife.
Nice. I don't know if my knife is dull or if that's just a really strong sticker.
Or I'm just really bad at cutting things. CPU is set down.
Have you ever put a CPU in a motherboard?
I've never seen one of these before.
Like in person?
No.
So you got all these pins. Each one of those is data in and out into different places in the computer.
Okay.
You got a little gold triangle on the corner of the CPU there. You see that?
Yep.
That's going to line up on the motherboard with the triangle on the motherboard. You see that over here? There's a little triangle in the plastic here and on the board itself.
Gotcha.
So that's going to tell you how to align it.
It's more of an orientation thing?
Yeah, it's just the triangle with the triangle. Make sure all the pins are in the right spot. And I'd set that down on the table for now. Just the whole package, just for now.
Okay.
So what you're going to want to do is lift this little metal arm here on the socket.
Okay.
So don't even pick up the CPU yet. Yeah, so lift that all the way up until it's like that. Perfect.
Okay.
Now we're going to pick up the CPU.
CPU is picked up.
Line. Now I'd grab it this way, kind of top to bottom, and we're going to line up those triangles.
Yep, the triangles are lined up.
And you're just going to set it into place, kind of jiggle it, pick it up, and kind of place it back down. Try to get it to seat.
I think.
Yeah, that seems like it's seated.
Seems like it.
Yeah, so now just put your little your lever down. And that should be, that is your CPU installed.
Nice. Step 2.7 SSD
If I can find it.
into the motherboard. It's like kind of part of the motherboard setup.
Yeah, so this is how they're doing SSDs now. They're not separate. They just kind of plug right into the motherboard these days.
Yeah.
So we're going to want to open, you all right if I open this?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're going to open the one side and get this thing out of here. And for the next part, we're gonna need a tool for the first time. So we got this gorgeous Samsung 970 EVO SSD. The packaging is always so futuristic. All right, we're getting an up close shot of this guy right here. So the first thing you're gonna do is put that back. So it goes here. Under this heat sink. So we're gonna undo that screw and flip this lid open.
Tactical reload. I have unscrewed.
Yeah, next time let's not let the screw.
Oh.
Yeah. So next time let's not let the screw.
Oh, okay.
Well, because this has an adhesive on it that's gonna stick, and then this metal piece will act as a heat sink for
Sweet.
the SSD. So take your SSD and hold it here, and make sure this standoff is in the right place to secure it. So flip it the other way.
Like this.
Yep. Well, upside down. It's upside down right now. There you go. So just put it in. Yeah, you see the little connector.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that standoff in the right spot?
Yeah, it seems like once I push
so
it
then
in.
we gotta unscrew. We gotta unscrew that screw. Try not to let things like hit each other or like screws fall on the motherboard.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
probably a good call. Oh god, this is stressful. Am I supposed to be pushing?
Here, do you want me to?
Yeah. That was a good click. Whoa.
That's that installed. And now there is 1 terabyte of SSD storage on the PC.
Nice.
So much better than running a SATA cable and having to deal with all that, which we will have to do later for the hard drive. Yeah, so that's SSD installed. We could put RAM in.
Okay, let's do that.
So we got a RAM sticks. Throw these bad boys in. So you notice that that notch in the middle is off to one side.
Yeah, it's not perfectly sound.
Yeah, there's a notch in the board. You want to line those notches up. Line the notches up and then apply even pressure on both sides of the stick downward. And it's gonna feel like you have to press really hard.
Is it in?
Nope. It has to click.
Did it not?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I see. It gives you a little flippy thing. Is it in?
Here.
There we go. That is so
As I said,
scary.
it's gonna feel like you're gonna break it.
It does feel like you're gonna break it. How would they make it like that? It's to weed out the weak from building your own PCs.
I think with that, that's about everything we can throw on here without it being in the case. So the case is gonna be the next step. Do you feel confident enough to pick up the motherboard and put it in?
I'll pick it up.
Just picking it up. So just pick it up by the sides. Kind of.
Careful, SpongeBob.
Yeah, careful. And you see the standoffs?
Yes.
You want to line those up with the holes and kind of like a this motion because you got to get it past that fan and stuff. So kind of like that.
Gently.
Sweet. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
now we're ready to screw. So you see the screw holes?
Yep.
So those are grounding pads.
All
so
right.
what this is going to do is actually, it's going to mount and hold the motherboard in place and also ground it to the case and the power supply and everything else. So there'll be a neutral ground between everything. Screw.
Yeah.
Screwdriver. Hole. Just don't over tighten them, obviously. The usual thing with hardware.
Right.
Are they all in?
They're all in.
Big good. This guy knows how to tighten a screw.
I've used a screwdriver once or twice.
This guy knows how to tighten a screw, I'll tell you. I'm thinking CPU cooler, probably next. So what we're gonna have to do is take off the old OEM AMD mounting hardware so we can put on the new stuff from our Noctua cooler.
Do you want to put that in English?
This motherboard came from the factory with the mounting brackets for the stock cooler.
Yes.
Because we have a 5800X, it doesn't come with a cooler. So we're using an aftermarket cooler that has different bracketry and stuff.
Okay, so take these brackets off here.
So just take those 4 screws out and the backing plate will fall and these plastic bits will come off and then we'll get the backing plate and we'll figure out how to mount this.
Cool. It seems simple enough. Oh!
What did you do?
I pushed something and it fell.
Yep, that's the mounting bracket.
Oh, okay.
All is well. Next part's going to be installing our CPU cooler. We can see from this arrow diagram on the bottom that it's going to push air that way, which means we want it to go this way into the case. Important things though, so this cooler comes with pre-applied thermal paste. So you're not going to want to, don't touch any of this once we take this protective cover off. And all you're going to do is just try to set it down as squarely as possible on the CPU and line up these 2 screws with the 2 studs here.
Oh boy, really set me up for failure here.
Don't worry, you only just have to get this first try or else everything will be destroyed. Just line it up as best you can and set it down. That's good. I'll just hold it. So, gotta take, no, it's all good. It's good where it is. We just gotta take the fan off. And we will tighten these down. And this is kind of important stuff. You just want it to be even spread so it kind of squishes the thermal paste out evenly and just everything's nice and happy. We'll just keep going until these kind of slow down and don't want to get tightened anymore. Yep, like that one. And that will be the CPU cooler installed. So now we will just take a look-ski at, okay, so there's our CPU fan header. So we're just gonna throw the fan back on.
And it's got like these hooks that these little metal bars are going into.
So there's these little, just fits between the fins and locks it
yeah, there's like ridges.
And then we'll take this wire, route it under, and it doesn't reach. All right, so we gotta flip this around. So we will plug this into the CPU fan header right here. And that is the CPU cooler installed.
Nice.
The way we're going to be mounting this power supply and why this power supply is kind of nice compared to others is that it's kind of designed to be mounted like upside down so that the bottom fan is what's going to be sucking from the bottom and blowing out the back. I think a lot of power supplies are designed like this, but it's just a nice feature to have. So we're going to be mounting the power supply down in here. So we got to flip the computer up and work in the back.
So that's nice. So like all the heat will kind of
stay in the bottom.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect the rest of the computer. It'll be its own little unit.
Sweet.
For the most part. So we're just gonna kind of chuck this. You wanna do the honors?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna chuck it in here. It's gonna fit in this area here, or it's backwards right now. You gotta flip it the other way.
Oh, okay.
So,
like this.
yeah.
Right, because you plug it in from the outside, not the inside.
I mean, you could do whatever you want. You can run all your power cables out here and through the outside.
Yep.
So there's just some holes in the back. We're just gonna line it up with, and then you're gonna have.
Yep.
I'll move this around. And there's just gonna be 4 screws put in, so these screws seem to work. So it's just gonna be through these eyelet holes, and then we can add more screws in a minute.
Hold on. Got it.
No.
Nope, lost it and found it again.
Yep, there you go.
Boom.
All right, so now let's...
1.
Alrighty, so now we're gonna start just plugging in some of the power cables from the power supply to other areas in the PC. So now we're gonna plug the other end of that cable into the motherboard. You wanna do the honors? It's gonna take some effort. Nice.
There we go. Nice click.
Yeah, and now we can kind of tuck this cable back in, bend it around a little. Just kind of gently.
So the motherboard connected now, we're getting the stuff for the case that's built in, like the USB ports and the audio and the front panel, and even the case fan, all hooked up to the motherboard. Okay, we've got some wires in place, and it was getting kind of annoying, so Alan said we could do something fun and open up the graphics card. Snazzier inner box reveal.
Snazzy inner box.
Let's look at it together, shall we? Whoa. Shiny.
Yo boy.
Ta-da. That's where all the editing power comes from.
That's where all the gaming.
That's where all the gaming happens.
These screws over here on this side, so that we can take the. Everything is falling off the table right now. We will deal with that later. But we're gonna remove these 2 doors so that we can mount the graphics card on the motherboard. And then we'll run power to it, and then we'll be very close to done, actually.
And you thought we'd be here all night.
Well, you know. All right, we're gonna remove these doors, hold back our little thing, and this is just similar to the RAM, but what you're gonna wanna do is it's gonna sit like this, right? These tabs are gonna go between the motherboard and the case. So you're gonna kinda wanna put that in first, and then you're gonna wanna line this up and kind of push down on the left side and like get that side seated and then rock it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
100% better from the top.
Doors are correct. We're slotted in. And we're clicked.
Nice.
All good. And just like that, everything is plugged in. We got the hard drive, the GPU, the CPU, the motherboard, everything you could possibly need for a working PC. It's all there. All that's left now is to slap the panels back on and
see if it works.
Yeah, give her a test. Press Y to reset FT at PM.
There we go.
Oh, that's fancy looking. Oh!
In, boys. We put the wind blows on the computer.
everything's all set up. It's looking good. Special thanks to this guy for putting up with it and sticking through and getting everything installed and having the patience to deal with
Slow Wi-Fi.
everything that goes wrong with this process. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll see how it does in the coming weeks and months. I'm excited to have something decent to use to game and edit and everything with. Should
It's gonna be great.
should at the very least boost my ability to do this. So that's exciting. And hopefully we'll see you in the near future with a lot more at a lot higher quality because of this thing.
Yeah. Tons of new opportunities.
Yeah, lots of new opportunities. We'll see where that leads. All right, we'll catch you later. Peace. This is for the Wi-Fi. Wow. He's got a magnet.
Very excited about the magnet.
Shark magnet.